Can you hear it?
Yeah, you can hear it.
You can hear it like it's inside the pot.
That's weird.
Hi, I'm Zaynab Paruk and this is how I make my biryani. Biryani is a dish for celebration, whether it's a wedding or Eid or a family gathering. It's a dish that requires time, love and patience and always brings everyone together. Every family has their own little secrets passed down from generations, but this is how I like to make my biryani. So to start off the recipe, we're going to fry up some finely sliced onion. Once your onions are nice and crispy, you're going to take them out. So in the same oil, we're going to fry up our potatoes. Biryani is not the day to start counting your calories. It's a meal for indulgence and comfort. Once your potatoes are cooked and nicely browned up, you can take them out. So we're going to pop everything into a liquidizer to make it a bit easier. You're going to start off with about a cup of yogurt. I'm going to add in 1 tomato chopped up. Then I'm going to add in some chilies, some fresh garlic, fresh ginger, juice of 1 lemon. First we have some ground cumin, ground coriander. Now traditionally, the ladies would be toasting these spices and grinding them up by hand. So this is definitely a shortcut, taking it out of a jar. 1 whole teaspoon of turmeric for that nice yellow color. Now for our fried onions, we're going to keep a quarter of this for the topping and we're going to put the rest into the marinade. And don't forget to add your salts, because that's not something you want to forget. And now we're just going to whiz this all together. It smells so good. So add your marinade to the chicken. To this, I'm going to add in some green chilies, but I like to keep the green chilies whole. So I just put a slit down the middle and pop them in. I'm just going to go with 4 green chilies. We're also going to add some ilachi or cardamom, cinnamon. I'm just going to put half of that in. And one of the main ingredients for biryani is saffron. Oh, it has such a distinctive smell and taste, and it's perfect for your biryani. So we're going to give this a mix, and ideally you want to marinate this maybe the day before or the night before, or at least give it a few hours in the fridge. So in the same pot that we fried the onions and the potatoes, we're going to add in the chicken. But I've removed a little bit of the oil so that we just have a bit at the bottom. There cannot be a biryani without a nice generous amount of ghee. So traditionally you would add the raw chicken to the pot and then you would layer it with the masoor and the rice and the potatoes. But I like to cook the chicken first just so that mentally I'm less stressed out that the chicken is cooked. But you can decide how you want to do it. This is my hack to make biryani a little bit less daunting. So a lot of people want to know what the difference between an akhni and a biryani is. So an akhni for me is more a mix of the chicken and the rice mixed together in a pot, and biryani is a layered dish. Also, an akhni for me is a dish that's a little bit quicker and a bit easier. Like I would have akhni on a Monday night, but there's no way I'm making biryani on a Monday night for everyone. It's reserved for special occasions. So we're going to leave the chicken to cook until it's 90% done, and we're going to move on to the rice. So in here we have 2 cups of basmati rice that's been washed, and then I soaked it in some water. You want to soak it for at least 30 minutes. We're going to add in some ilachi, and I'm also going to add in some cinnamon, and then I've drained my basmati rice and I'm going to add it to the boiling water. And make sure you take out every grain or your granny is going to come for you. So I'm going to leave this to cook. Don't close the pot fully or it might overflow. And you want to cook the rice until it's about 70% done. So not fully done, about 70%. So at this point you can see the rice is ready. And when you taste it, it's fully cooked through, but it's not super soft because we're still going to steam it. So our chicken is cooked. So I'm going to add in the coriander to the chicken. Give that a nice mix. Now we're just going to clean up the sides of the pot so that the rice doesn't get stained with the yellow coloring, well, the yellow turmeric. You want to keep the rice like nice and white. So one of the shortcuts that I like to take is to use tinned masoor. It just takes away a lot of the boiling and the soaking of the masoor, and it just makes it so much more easier. So what I like to do is add half the potatoes to the top of the chicken and then save half the potatoes to add to the rice. That way, if you want a potato that's covered in gravy, you have that, or if you want a potato that isn't, what's in the rice. And now we're going to add in half of the cooked rice. Try and get your layers as evenly as possible. And now we are going to do another layer of our potatoes. And I like to add in eggs. This is optional. If you feel like you don't want to add in eggs, you do not have to. And now we're just going to cover it up with the rest of the rice. So if you want to, you can make this the day before you have a function and then pop it in your fridge. And on the day of the function, all you have to do is steam it on the stove for a few minutes, about half an hour, depending. Into some boiling water, I'm going to add a few strands of saffron for the top of our biryani. Just going to give that a gentle stir. That's what you want, that beautiful yellow color. So I'm just going to pour this over the top of the biryani. And then we're going to add those crispy onions that we made earlier. You can garnish the top of your biryani with anything that you like. I like to go with the saffron and the fried onions. And since we are not counting calories, we're going to add a little bit of ghee to the top of this rice. As it steams, it seeps into the rice and gives it a delicious taste and flavor. And so our biryani is all laid up and ready to steam. At this point, you can pop it in the fridge and steam it the next day, but we're going to go straight ahead. We're going to add in a little bit of water. Traditionally, they would make a dough that goes over this pot to help it steam. But we are very lucky we have foil. So we're going to cook it on a high heat for 5 minutes, and then you're going to drop it to a really low heat and steam it for about 30 minutes. So I remember my granny telling me the way to know if your biryani is like sizzling at the bottom and is ready to start steaming, because then you have to drop the heat, is you take a wooden rolling pin, otherwise known as a welan, and well, I got a wooden spoon anyways. You're supposed to put it here and then listen with your ear, and you can actually hear the biryani sizzling. And then that's when you know that you need to drop the heat. Can you hear it?
Yeah, you can hear it.
You can hear it like it's inside the pot.
That's weird.
So the moment of truth, this has been steaming for about half an hour, and we are ready to plate up. And the whole room smells like biryani. That's how you know it's time to eat. The way I like to dish out biryani is to have the white rice on one side and then have the masala pot on the other side, so it's like a half and half. You could even put it on 2 separate platters. So I'm curious to know if you like egg in your biryani or not. My sister was like, make sure you add the egg, and my husband was like, don't add the egg. So we went with the egg, but I'd like to know in the comments whether you add egg to your biryani or not. And your biryani is ready to serve up. Serve it up with some thai, which is like a herby yogurt. You can do a little side salad. You can add some papad, some mango achar. There are so many things you can serve it up with. Enjoy!